What's going on, Sumolings? Thank you so much for joining us for another product walkthrough webinar. I'm Lindsay, and today I am joined by the team over at WP Compress. This intelligently adapts images and scripts based on the incoming visitor for faster load times, lower bounce rates, and a better user experience. It is available on AppSumo right now, starting at $39 for a lifetime deal. Before we dive into the tool, though, I just want to tell you all a few quick things. First, if you want to tell us a little bit about your use case, why you're interested in the tool, you can go ahead and do that in the chat room. But if you have any questions about the tool, the deal, how to get set up, go ahead and leave those questions in the Q&A box down below this video. We'll circle back to them at the end of the walkthrough. And the last thing is there will be a replay of this available. Bear with me. It's taken me a little longer than usual to get these up, but it'll be up by Monday. So you can watch this again and again as many times as you'd like. All right, that's enough of me. Hey, James, how are you doing?
Good, how are you doing? Thanks for having me, Lindsay, appreciate it.
I'm
Hey, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well today. Happy Friday.
Yes, it is happy Friday. I'm gonna let you take it away for the walkthrough,
Sure.
and let me know when you're ready for questions. Have fun.
Sounds good. Okay, so hey everyone, obviously I'm James. I'm a co-founder of WP Compress, and I'm here to help however I can. So we're gonna kind of walk through setting up your first website, imagining you just purchased the deal, and setting up your first website, trying both local mode, live mode, different optimizations for that, and seeing how it works, and then kind of going through the features for advanced use cases such as agency use cases, or other situations where you might want to hide the plugin from WordPress or whatever. Certain situations we'll go through and go over that for you guys today. So I'm happy to help. The first thing, once you activate your AppSumo license, you're going to log into the WP Compress portal. It's at app.wpcompress.com. And you're going to get a nice little pop-up greeting you. And just as Lindsay mentioned, WP Compress, we've built it to be as effortless as possible. We really want it to be kind of just link your website and you're good to go. And we worked with a lot of different toggles and ways of keeping it very simple to have these advanced customizations. And we're getting incredible feedback from all of you to improve the software every day and adding a lot of new updates, features, and really learning a lot from the community as well. So I wanted to kind of just walk you through it. We'll answer any questions at the end. So if you see anything that you have questions about, please let us know, but I won't be able to stop to get to them. But basically, we're going to get started. So you get in, you log into app.wpcompress.com, and you click Get Started. And that will bring you to linking your first website. You could also get here, if it's not your first website, by going to the Add New Website at the top right of the portal. And we try to keep the linking as simple as possible. I'm going to go through a little bit in depth for you. But the big thing is, we want you to be able to manage clients. We want you to be able to have full control over the allocations of credits and usage for image optimization, asset optimization. So not only can you help speed up your sites, but you could actually have full control over, people love to use, we have monthly client quotas, which I'll get into, but people love to use those for management plans, for website care plans. So if you have a gold, a silver, and a bronze plan, some people like to put 100,000 credits on their lowest plan and maybe 1 million credits on their highest plan. And then you can kind of work people up in your own plans, use it as an upsell, however you want. So how these credits work is it's optimization credits. You could use it either for local optimization, which is traditional image optimization. You compress the image in whether it be your media library or upload the image to our website, and you get the output, which is a compressed version. Or live optimization, which is real-time image optimization. I'll get into showing you that in a second, but that includes a lot of personalization, automatic adapting to the incoming visitor, and really incredible stuff there. I'll get into that for you. So for these quotas, we're just going step by step. When you get to the quota screen, we want to make sure that you select what's best for the website you're linking. So if it's a personal website, or if it's a website you trust, or your website, you can go with a shared quota, and that will just pull from your main account. So say you have the AppSumo Tier 4 plan, you have 5 million optimizations a month. That's what this account has right here. It will just pull from there, and you can link as many websites as you want, and it will pull from there. But say this was, like I mentioned, a client site, you could simply set 100,000 quota, 250,000, 500,000, etc. And if you need more than 2 million, or you want to set 125,000, you can do a custom quota as you want as well for 125,000 as well here. I'm going to go ahead. I'll set a 250,000 quota. That's actually the first tier of the AppSumo plan. That's typically good for a small, medium website. We've had websites that are on enterprise level plans. We have websites that don't even use nearly 100,000. So it really depends on how many images you have, your website, your traffic, but we're happy to help with that as well. The other options you see here, we have one-time credits, which this account currently doesn't have any, but that works as overflow credits. So what that does is, say you were to set a quota of 250,000 credits, it's not set in stone at that point. So if you were to add 100,000 overflow credits, your account would then be able to use, say, 300,000 one month, 275,000 the month after, and those credits never expire. So you kind of want to give them a little wiggle room if you want to give one-time credits. And other than that, remember these one-time credits. These are going to be important later, but remember these one-time credits. But other than that, you can set a hard quota as needed. The other option is the universal JavaScript snippet. We'll get into that later as well. But that's so you can use it on any website, not just WordPress. It works on WordPress as well if you want to do some advanced things like hiding branding or not having the plugin within WordPress. But the main thing for the universal snippet there is that you could use it on Squarespace, you could use it on Shopify, and your different custom websites, whatever you want to use it on. You just paste it in the head tag of your website, and it should run it automatically for that. We have documentation on that in our help desk as well. So we're going to move forward with a 250,000 credit quota. I'm going to continue here. You're going to generate your API key, and you can download the plugin directly from here. If you need help installing plugins, we're happy to help via live chat support. That's one of the big things that we have is live chat support. But otherwise, it's installing a WordPress plugin as normal. I'm going to go with the WordPress version because we are WP Compress. We started off core at WordPress and really tried to expand to other with the universal option as well. So I'm going to go to this demo website I have. I have the plugin already uploaded, but you can go to add new, or you could upload the plugin. We're going to activate this, and you're simply going to hit get started. And then it's just going to ask you for your access key. And again, I'm going to go back to the dashboard. All you're going to do is just click right here, click to copy it, and click to paste it. And you'll just hit start. And it's just going to take a few moments to register everything in our system. Make sure you're good to go, link everything, all the quotas, all that aspect, and you should be all set, good to go. So we'll wait for this. Should be a moment. And then it gets to where we said live versus local optimization. So you could switch back at any time between live and local optimization. Live optimization, as mentioned, is real time. There's nothing you have to do after you hit live optimization. You simply hit live, and your images will be automatically rewritten, served via our CDN. CDN is a content delivery network, which basically stores copies of your images all over the world, so that if you have a user visiting from Sydney, Australia, or if you're located there, then they get a copy closer, even though your server may be in London or your server may be in Los Angeles or wherever it is. It tries to put a closer copy to the user so that it loads significantly faster. It's the same thing. A good analogy we like is it's like shipping a package. If you want to use UPS, DHL, wherever you're using to ship a package, it's just some things take a long time to get there. No matter if you select the fastest thing, it's still going to take you whatever the flight is. So we want to make sure that we get the package closer to your users, or in this case, the images, CSS, JavaScript, and assets, as close to your users as possible, so that it's just a quick, really quick delivery. And we've seen delivery times as fast as 3 milliseconds, but typically it's somewhere between 10 and 30 milliseconds, and we'll get into that. So I'm going to start with live optimization here. Click on that, and you're going to get sample data until your stats load, but your website should be loading data right now. This dashboard, we tried to keep it as clean as possible, but I'm going to explain it very quickly. The main thing is you have your per day statistics, seeing how much usage you have so you can see trends. It's based on, in live mode, it's based on your web traffic, how many images you're serving. And in local mode, it's based on how many images you've compressed that day, that week, that month. Then there's some basic settings for optimization. You can switch between optimization levels. You want to go lossless, intelligent, ultra. It really depends on what you're doing. So photographers tend to like lossless because they have that trained eye where you can see any minute differences. But if someone's really trying to use ultra and squeeze as much savings out as they can, we recommend that as well. And then you have simple toggles such as retina, turning retina on and off, which is for if you're on whether it be a 27-inch 5K iMac, you're going to get a 2x image there so that the image is actually optimized for your screen. Things like adaptive images, which is really, really cool. If you visit on a mobile device or a smaller browser, it's going to resize the image perfectly to fit whatever container it's in. So in this case, it would, if you're on a mobile device, it might make it 360 pixels wide, which actually cuts out a ton of space, saves you a lot of file size, and then helps accelerate your images, especially for mobile devices and things like that, where they're really focused on that slow download speed, or you might not have great connectivity as you would with your hardwired connection. Next option here is WebP, and this is the next gen format. Google loves WebP. Core Web Vitals is going to be a big part of their next update, it sounds like, and Google actually is responsible for the WebP format as well. So what they do in WebP is, it's just, instead of PNG, JPEG, GIF, or GIF, however, we'll get into that later. You have the WebP option, and that will convert your images to this new format. It saves some space, but it does load faster in the specific browsers if available. But depending on compatibility, because things like Safari might not support it, certain mobile devices, we handle all of that automatically in one toggle for you. The next option is lazy load, which is, I'll show you how that works as well. Basically, it loads your images as you go. So if you were to scroll down the page, this is great for actually credit saving as well. If you have 3 images, so I'll show you the page I have here. I have a demo page. If you have 3 images, I have 10 images on this page. If it was to load with lazy load, the other ones wouldn't be loaded. So this is before, so it's already all loaded. But if it was to have lazy load, it would only load maybe the first and second image. And then as we went, it would lazy load it from the CDN as well, saving you A, credits if people don't scroll down that far, but B, making the overall page size, instead of being 10 images, it makes it to be 2 off the initial load. So it gives you a lot faster of a first load and the perceived value there as well. So I'll go back here. EXIF is for metadata. It's for basically photographers, for location information, camera information. If you don't necessarily know, if you know what that is and you want to save it, use it. If you don't know what it is, you should be fine either way. There's some SEO benefits as well, but that's kind of on a use by use case there. We also have pro settings, and the cool thing about these pro settings is typically we block off the pro settings on our starter plans, but all AppSumo deals get access to the pro settings, even from tier 1 to tier 4 there. Tiers 2 through 4 also get the custom CDN domains, as unlimited as they can there. But the big thing about the pro settings is that we're trying to make it super easy for you to be able to, say, serve JavaScript from the CDN, serve CSS via the CDN, and I'll explain what that means. Basically, you have all your assets. Your website's comprised of images, scripts, styling, whatever it is. You have all these files and assets on your website. And if you want to load those elsewhere, if you want us to load the CSS, the JavaScript, we're happy to do that in just one click. External URLs is a popular one as well if you want to offload your images and assets, things like S3. But the big thing with that is making sure that people, that you have external URLs for that. So only toggle that if you know you're already offloading your images. We are working on some things on our roadmaps for external URLs so that we can help you offload them as well, which is a pretty cool feature. Helps you save storage space. So that's in the works as well. And then things like defer JavaScript, change the image URLs and set the CSS that's for background images, and disable WP emoji, which is a script that they add. If you're not using emojis on your website, you don't really need that. So we'll turn all these on. We will leave optimize on upload off for now, but basically what that does is in local and live mode, either one, whether you want to use the real-time CDN or specifically local mode, which we'll get into, you can optimize your images when people upload them. So if you go into the media library, it will automatically compress them when a client or a user, an admin, an editor, whoever it may be, even yourself, uploads a new image. It will automatically locally compress that as well. And then on top of that, we have an exclude list for specific scripts. We've had a lot of feature requests to exclude specific images from, say, lazy loading, such as logos, other requests such as excluding specific images from adaptive or the CDN, and we're adding that as well. And then the last thing here is the custom CDN domain. I'll show you this here. I'll duplicate this page, and what we'll do, we'll inspect this in the Chrome Inspect tab. But basically, you can see I'm logged in, so we got the Gravatar stuff. But basically, you can see I just reloaded the page. And the domains, as you can see, if you could, I hope it's large enough for you. But the domains are coming from your host name. This is a Cloudways test site, so it's a pretty long domain, but .zapwp.com. And then it has the image optimization parameters after it. And that's automatic. I simply toggled the site. It was good to go. As you can see, it's already loading the WebP. The cache is preloaded and everything. The file sizes are small, and I'm in 23 milliseconds here, right? 15 milliseconds is loading in. The whole entire website is actually loading in 452 milliseconds, which is phenomenal. I'm going to show you this. The lazy load does kick in. So if I was to go like this, you can see how more images and scripts are coming. We're actually downloading them for the first time, so it's loading there. And then if I was actually to refresh the page, you'd be able to see that the images load, as you can see, and it's completely smooth. It's just a nice fade effect there as well. And they're very, very fast as well. So if I go back to here, now you saw this domain, the WordPress at zapwp.com. That is your typical URL. If you want to, tier 2 and higher can use a custom domain. So most people use, whether it be cdn.mysite.com. So if your site would be, say it was our site, WP Compress, would be cdn.wpcompress.com. And then the images come from your domain, which have certain SEO benefits, as well as branding, let you custom brand it for your users or for your clients, however you want to do that. So that's a really, really cool feature as well. And that takes some DNS things. We have tutorials on that as well. So we'll get into that, but that feature is pretty easy to use right here. So I'm getting back to this page now. And if I go back to inspecting it, let's see. Again, you can see, as you see the images fade in, the images are now all set on the CDN. If I go to CSS or any of this, you can see the CSS assets and everything loading on the CDN as well. And these are loading extremely fast, 50 milliseconds, 23 milliseconds. It's loading very, very well there in our TTF base. The whole website here is loading in 462 milliseconds. I'm happy to do, if we want, a lot of people like to use GT metrics for this. We'll go here, we'll paste that. And the thing with GT metrics is just making sure that everything has propagated, the cache has been filled, and we'll get back to that test in a second. But you should start to have statistics now that the website has been loading for a little bit. Your users in real time, it's going to adapt these variables right here based on, if I go to image. If I was to visit this in, say, Safari, then WebP would be false. And I'm on a retina, so retina is true. So it automatically personalizes and adapts the images and the size based on the incoming visitor to get you the fastest load times we can get you, and really keep that working smooth for you. So I'm going to move. I can't see that with the zoom thing. So that's fine there. And basically, we're going to retest this just one more time just to make sure that the cache had hit, because it does take time for us to download and fill the images. And then I'll go through that waterfall for you. That's one of the big things too, is with any CDN you use, the first time you load the page, it's going to download the images. Whether you push, you pull, it's going to download the images for you. And then the second time, it will actually run them for you. So if I was to go, let's do this real quick. Yeah, these haven't hit yet. So it does take a moment to hit that. Let me see. Yeah. So I'm going to actually compare this. Let's do this. We'll make sure that hits on the preloading for there, as you can see. And then I'll actually go into the stats while we're waiting. And as you can see, the website is adding to the portal now for your statistics, and you'll be able to see the optimization. We've served 153 assets so far, 83% savings overall. And the cool thing with this, let me just go back to the test if I can for you. Close this. And that should be, let's see, still, oh, it's being cached, that's why. One moment, as you can see. So we'll try that. Just to make sure. And then if we go back to, say we could go back to the plugin here, you can see that remotely, you can optimize your images and settings as needed here. So if we wanted to manage this, if I want to turn adaptive images off and say I wanted to check, that might actually impact the test, but we'll turn adaptive and we'll turn lazy off, and then we'll switch to intelligent here. That fully can be remote managed here. If I refresh this page, you can see that now it's in intelligent mode, adaptive, lazy. So you can manage all of your clients from there. I'm checking this. Okay, now it worked. I had to add a query string because GT Magic was actually caching. The Cloudflare setup we have has some sort of server level caching, so it wasn't updating the files for us. Now you can see the images are loading in 3.4 milliseconds, 4 milliseconds. For that, look at that. That's phenomenal. It does take, that's part of it. It does take a little bit of time for us to download the images, cache it, point exactly there, make sure that's all set. But then again, this page is loading extremely fast. These assets are looking really good. The page size is phenomenal. And there's no high critical errors or anything like that. I think it's funny for anyone extremely technical is that excessive DOM size with 46 elements is a little bit silly to me, but other than that, we have seen 2,500, 5,000, whatever, and that's besides the point there. So basically, your assets load extremely fast after everything propagates there, and then you can manage anything as needed in the portal. So from the portal, we're going to go back into the portal now. I'm going to show you some of the advanced features. You can, like we said, you could optimize here. I'll show you local mode real quick, actually. So all you have to do to switch to local mode, so that was live optimization where the images actually adapt in real time based on the incoming visitor. In local mode, it's very similar. You could use the same settings. And we'll switch that, and you can use, you can go to bulk optimization, which is right up top. So we have 10 images on the website, the same 10 that I uploaded earlier. And basically you could either bulk compress it from here, or you can go to the media library, go to list mode. So there's grid mode and list mode, and you'll see all your images there, and simply click compress on the image. So this is, I got all these just on Unsplash. I'm sure you're familiar with them. I think they just got acquired by Getty Images, but Unsplash is a phenomenal resource. So simply click compress, one click, and you could restore as well. We have local backups. We're working on finalizing cloud backups, as well as no backups if you want to offload your images completely. And that helps you save storage space as well as get those optimized images working as needed. So then it comes back. This again is where you can exclude things from whether it be bulk optimization or live optimization down here. But then your stats will reflect accordingly. You could purge the cache for the CDN or visit as needed. Another cool feature, I'm going to see if I can show you this real quick, is, so if I was here and you guys want to take the credit, we're going to get into some agency level features. If you want to set, say, live optimization on, or pro settings and have auto optimize on upload, and you go to the dashboard and you want to turn high WP compress on, right? What that would actually do is, look, if I was to refresh this page, I'm not allowed to access it because it's not there anymore. So as you can see, it disappeared from the top bar. You get to take all the credit. It's custom branded for you, or it's white labeled. It's removed there. You could also do that with the JavaScript widget. So then I toggle this back on, and again, should be back right up here for you. See? So you could change it as needed. I'm going to get into real quick just a few of the more advanced features you can do in the management portal. One of the big things people ask for is with the stats along the lines of hide from WordPress and the remove branding there is the custom branded reports. So on each dashboard, you're going to have a reports page and some report settings. But I'm going to get into this right here. So we would go actually to, you can contact support directly. That's reached out directly to us here too if you want. But we're going to go directly to white label reporting. And then we'll just delete this. And basically you can upload your logo, upload your image as you want, use it for whatever you need to use here. We'll just use, we'll go with the traditional square for now. And then we'll hit save. Actually, they'll probably be a little big. We'll go with the logo PNG. Let's just find one of these. We will go with this one for now. It's a little lower resolution of a logo, but we'll save it. And then you can set up your custom SMTP as needed, so that it actually comes from your branding. So this will have your logo in the report. You can change it to whatever you want. And then you go simply back to the dashboard. You can click on the I to actually visit the reporting dashboard for it. Configure any email reporting as you want. It's automatically sent at the beginning of each month. For the past month, you could change the subject, the email, any of this. You could also change on an account level basis under the SMTP in the white label section. You could even override the account level logo. So if you had your agency for one, but a specific client either wanted their logo, wanted a different branch of your agency's logo, we give you all the flexibility on that. And then you could even just download the report, or you could directly send it to your email, and that will send you a PDF as well. That's all set in one click. So that will send to anyone you add here. And if no one's here, it will send to the main account. And then if we view the reports, we don't have too many images optimized, but we can download this and open that up. And as you can see, this could be your logo, but I added that uploaded logo, and you get a day-by-day printout of the usage. If I had more days, I would have all the days. That's an optimization report for that specific website for the month you're working in, with your logo, custom branded, so that you get to take all the credit for the faster loading images, the optimization. We want you to look good. We're here for you to look good. So the other option, which I'm going to get into real quick, is just if you want to do a universal JavaScript snippet, you can actually set a quota for that, hit continue, and you would simply generate this snippet and paste it within the head of your website. So that's pretty easy to use. If we were to use it actually on this WordPress site, you would go to the theme editor. I'm not going to try to add it to the same one. You need to know what you're doing. If you're doing it in the WordPress version, you'd want to go to the head for that, which would be right here, header.php. And you would just put it before the head tag. So if you're in Squarespace, if you're in Shopify, wherever you are, you just simply paste it before that head tag. That's pretty easy to do, and we're happy to help via live chat support with that as well. So let's go here. You just copy this specific script, paste it right there, one line of text, and then that will serve it. So if I actually deactivate this for now, because you don't want to run both of them at the same time, save this, and then I go here to the demo page. One moment. Then it should be loading it in live mode as well for you. Right here. So as you can see, that image is now loading from the specific URL as needed, and you can configure the settings for the site again as needed for this JavaScript. Same thing if I want to turn Retina on, turn WebP on, etc. And then I reload this page, and I can actually, let me inspect it actually, and you can see that that's now WebP. It wasn't before. Retina is now on as well, and everything's remote configurable. So we're happy to help with any of this. You can configure your settings, change quotas for users, change any of that as well. And again, we're really, really happy to help however we can with this. I am happy to go in and demo anything else. We have a nice quick start guide that will help you get started very quickly with this. And we're happy to help as needed here. Again, I wanted to thank you guys for coming to this webinar. I'm happy to answer any questions as needed. And for everyone live on the webinar right now, for taking the time out of your day, especially on a Friday. I know we're all over the world here. Some people it's Friday evening, you might have something with you. Some people it's noon, whatever it may be. So we're happy to help however we can. Everyone who joined today, I want to give a bonus credit pack. That's what we were talking about originally. The overflow credits right here, one-time credits. I want to give 1 million one-time credits to everyone on this webinar. So simply reach out via chat support. I'll be happy to add those to your account. As long as you, obviously, you need the AppSumo deal for that. But I'm happy to help with that. And you could, again, just change it in your quota as needed to link websites. That's the one I already delinked. But you can then add it again as one-time credits as needed. So again, I'm happy to help however I can. We have amazing team for development, design, support. We're all happy to help. We love that the Sumolings are so passionate and so friendly towards this deal. We really appreciate it. And we're here to help work out whether it's a specific question on caching plugins or your specific environment, always reach out to chat support. We're through, we're having a lot of high volume right now, but we're happy to help however we can with that. And we're always here to make this plugin, this software, this platform evolve and be a top provider out there. So we're in it for the long run. We're here to make this incredible, and we're very, very passionate about it. And we hope that we can help you guys get faster loading websites. And we appreciate all your feature requests, your feedback, and everything as well. So thank you very, very, very much for your time. I want to open it up for questions. Feel free to throw your Q&A in there, and I'll happy to help however I can.
All right, Sumalings, if you have any questions, put them in the Q&A box. I will be getting questions on the Q&A box. All right. First one is, what's the difference between your service and, so I'm sure that there are a lot of other services that could be listed in this. The one they said is Cloudflare, but
Yes.
you could also speak to, because I don't want to like open the floodgates for them to start just naming every piece of software.
Yeah.
Can you speak to that one, because I see the name here, but then also how do you compare it to any competitor?
Sure. So Cloudflare, depending on what services, they're a very big company, but depending on what services you have, it's typically the CDN aspect is the traditional Cloudflare. So you can use WP Compress with Cloudflare and pretty much any provider. But the big thing is making sure your settings, and this is for general, whether it be caching plugin, whether it be page builders, whether it be themes, whether it be whatever the other performance, anything touching your images, your scripts, make sure you're not doubling up on settings. So whether you use Minify for JavaScript and things like that, if two things are trying to do the same thing, that's the only time a conflict can kind of arise. And that's why WP Compress was actually built as a toggle-based system, so that you can simply, if you have lazy loading from another plugin, you can simply turn our lazy loading off. Or if you have specific things along those lines like CSS and JavaScript, you can simply turn those off, or in your other provider, because you don't necessarily want to duplicate things. It's not gonna, there's a better chance that it breaks something on your site than actually speeds it up. It might speed it up by having no files there, but other than that, the good thing with WP Compress is none of the settings are permanent. So if you were to turn on adaptive images and lazy load, and we do have a little notification just saying make sure it's compatible with your site. But if you were to turn that on and say something doesn't look right, simply turn it off. Your site will be back to normal. You don't need to back up. You don't need to restore. None of that. It's all live, real time for you. And then reach out and we'll be happy to help sort it out for you. So again, with Cloudflare, WP Rocket, caching plugins, anything along those lines, make sure your settings aren't doubled up, and then either turn them on and off in either our plugin or portal, or in your other provider there. And we're happy to help, because there's honestly millions of environments out there with different plugin combinations, and we've done our best to test as many as we can. But if something does come about, we're happy to help. And you can see our chat support is very, very helpful to the best of our ability as well.
Yeah, to that end, we do have some questions about compatibility with other plugins, of a whole variety of other plugins. So I'm going to kind of cruise through these questions and give you an idea of what people are asking about, and then you could talk about compatibility on a whole.
Sure.
So yeah, they're asking about Thrive themes is one that comes up. Like you said, WP Rocket also came up a couple times actually. And then and just with 3 times actually, and then with JavaScript in general. So yeah.
So our help desk as well, just so everyone knows, is at help.wpcompress.com. And basically same as what I just said, just make sure you're not doubling up. You should be good to go. And then if you have, there's a little chat button right at the bottom, you could reach out, and we got a smiling little face right there, and we'll be happy to help however we can answer that for you. So if you have any specific conflicts, reach out. We'll be happy to sort it. But otherwise, as long as you don't double up the settings, you should be good to go. And we use WP Rocket. You can use different, whatever you need to use, just make sure. And then the other thing is just making sure that you're seeing the latest version of your site as well. Certain things, whether it be Cloudflare or Lightspeed or whatever, cache the plugin or cache the site so hard that you might be viewing data from the other day or earlier today. And even when you're logged in versus being logged out. So be aware of all those things. That's why I added a query string. But we're happy to help with all that. Whether you're an expert, whether you're a beginner, we're here to help for that. So
awesome. All right. So Omar, he wants some clarification on how credits work. He asks, let's say the page loads my logo. Is that one credit for the entire site, or is it going to be 1,000 credits if I have 1,000 pages?
So, Omar, hi, nice to meet you first off. Thanks for joining. The credit system, we try to make it as simple as possible. If you're in live mode, which is what I showed you, the real-time optimization, it's simply one credit per live optimization request. So that could be an image, that could be CSS, that could be JavaScript. If it hits our servers, if it hits our API, our cloud, it's one request per credit. So to view that, if I was to go back to my dashboard, I would have used, let's see, in this demo, I did 262 assets. That would be 262 credits if that was all live right there. As for local, when you're doing local mode, because that's only a one-time usage, where live is optimized based on all these variables for the incoming visitor, locally compressed images are 10 credits per image or variation. So if your theme, if you have WooCommerce and it creates a few thumbnails, those each will be 10 credits because our API, our system, processes them each individually as it's own image. So then that will stay on your website forever. It doesn't take more credits next month. You'll be all set to go with that. We also have 100 credits for backing up the image in the cloud. We're working on the cloud backups. We're thinking we might just give away a free level of quota for that as well, and remove the complication of the 100 credits for there. But as of right now, it's pretty much, if it's a live request, 1 credit. If it's a local compressed, 10 credits there as well. And that's why if you see in the AppSumo deals, if you head over to that page, we're giving millions of credits. So it does seem like a lot if you multiply out, but we are giving you millions of credits, and we have expansion packs, one-time credits. Everyone here, like I said, is getting a free 1 million credits. That's a lot of images to compress and serve as well. So I'm happy to help. And we don't want the credits to be a limitation. So if the same visitor was to visit that page multiple times, it would most likely be browser cached or lazy loading, as we saw. There's a ton of ways where you can actually use less credits for it. We want to help you conserve credits as well. So we're happy to help with that however we can.
And what happens when you exceed your credits?
Sure. So if you have a quota set, it will automatically rewrite the URL. So the URL, as you saw, was on our CDN domain. It would just go back to your local version. So it would go to whatever the website domain was before, your original image, which is heavier, slower, whatnot. The benefit of having both local and live optimization in the same plugin is if you locally compress your images, if you run out of the live quota for that month for any reason, it reverts to those optimized local images, which then allows you to still have benefits. You might not have all the live optimization advanced benefits, but at least you're still better off than where you started with that one. So it does automatically take care of that for you, which should restart at the beginning of the next month when credits are back. And the cool thing about that is you can do it, like I said, on either a per website basis, or if they share from your whole account, you have full control over how you set that up. And we want you to have that control, take the credit. And we're here to help, but we want you guys to take all the credit for faster loading websites for you and your clients. So
awesome. All right, can you show how to compress image locally?
yes. So let me reactivate this. I did show it. It will be in the replay as well, but basically you're going to go to the library and list mode. I have to reactivate the plugin real quick and most likely delete this from the theme file. 1 second. Oh, you can move that Zoom thing. That's nice. Okay. So we're going to go to the plugins here. We're going to go to the theme file as well because I added that there. 1 moment. Don't want to double up on that. And then we will go back to our app dashboard. We'll copy the key I used on this website. So that was this one right here. And simply paste the key here, reactivate. We'll go into local mode, and you simply can either go to bulk optimization, and that will optimize all of the images in your media library, or you could do the single image optimization as well. And then the final option was optimization on upload. We kind of, like I said, we want to be as simple as possible, but we want to give you all the advanced configuration so that you could do it however you need to do it there. So you can go to the media library, make sure you're in list mode, and then again, you can just click compress on any image, whatever it may be. I'll take a minute there, and it depends on your settings as well, what savings, your threshold, if you want to generate the WebP, I think I'm in lossless mode now as well. But then it optimizes those images for you there. It's just one click for everything. If you want to restore it, you can, and the image is then back to the original. So if you want to do that, and that's a common question as well. If you were to ever deactivate the plugin, the images stay in the state they are. If you're in local mode, in live, they revert to what you had before. So again, everything's undoable, everything's redoable. We want you to have full control over what happens on your website. So
great, thank you. All right, next question. Will your JavaScript compressor compress all the JavaScript on our website?
Yes, so we minify the JavaScript, which is there's different levels of minification, but we do minify the JavaScript when it's served via our CDN URL. There's actually a variable for that, for minify true, minify false, and we're going to have advanced settings for that. So yes, we do aim to minify it. We don't combine it or anything like that. There's other plugins that can combine it, and then we'll be able to serve those combined files. But we want to make sure everything, we're going for as much compatibility as possible. So we want to get you those fast speeds, accelerate your assets, make them load very fast. But we don't want to be playing around because, as mentioned, there's a lot of different environments and plugin conflicts between other things that we want to make sure you're all set to go in just a few clicks, you know? So that's what we're here to do.
All right. Back to credits. If I upload one image to my site, how many possible image credits does it take up? If it is a WooCommerce product, does it do multiple images based on thumbnails?
Yes. So a WooCommerce, say you have 5 thumbnails with a WooCommerce, that would be 60 credits for locally compressed images, because each variation would count because it's processed the exact same way as the original. There's no difference. It processes each image, each thumbnail, and optimizes it for you. Then depending on your settings, if you have things like WebP, Retina is taken care of automatically, but those can also use up credits depending on your situation. But again, those are only used one time for the locally compressed credits, and you get starting at 250,000 credits, which is 25,000 images at this point, 25,000 variations. So for you, even if you had 10 variations per image, or say 9, 10 total, you can do 2,500 images a month. With even just the $39 one-time tier 1 plan, and it goes up to the 5 million. And if you need more than that, we have enterprise level plans and stuff like that as well. There's not going to, typically we're here to help make sure there's no credit shortage, you know. So we're happy to help with that however we can as well. And as mentioned earlier, everyone's getting 1 million credits for free for being on this webinar. So that will help as well. It's a free
follow-up question.
10,000 full-size images there for you, or 100,000 variations. So
wow.
that should be enough, and that's one time. You can locally optimize whatever you want with that. So
how can they go about getting these credits? What do you need from us
for the bonus credits?
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, simply reach out to chat support. You see it right here on the help. I'm sure I'll be a little slammed with that, but I'm happy to help with that, and I'll manually add it to your account. The one thing we ask is that you do have an active AppSumo deal with it, and once you have that, we'll be happy to help with that as well. So
awesome. Thank you. All right, scrolling back up. What are the essential differences between this and Short Pixel? So we're back on comparisons.
Sure. So we do have a compare page on our website, and we love Short Pixel, also an AppSumo product. We love Short Pixel as well. They're phenomenal in this space. The big thing that we like to look at is we tend to be all in one. So as you see, you can do local and live optimization in the same plugin. The deal terms are very, very favorable in this for local optimization credits, things like that. We're trying to help with that. And the big thing as well is that you get the direct contact with us. We have outstanding chat support. We try to help however we can, and now we have the universal version. We're constantly improving the feature requests, everything like that. So that there is a comparison page. I will go here, and you can go to comparisons and kind of go through some of the different options as well, and go through different providers. And kind of go through it on your own. But the big thing with Short Pixel 2 is a lot of the agency level features are things that we try to go through, like the remote management, like you saw. You can just toggle settings for any website remotely. Things like the hiding the plugins, the reporting, the quotas, the white labeling, as well as just we try to keep everything as simple as possible. And people tend to love our interface as well, and how beautiful we made it. So I'm not saying anything bad about Shorts Pixel. They're phenomenal solution, but we try to help with the agency solution and try to be the best we can to really innovate with the audience, with our community, and take your responses to make it as best as we can. So I'm happy to help with that too.
Thank you. Is the CDN all on your side, meaning we don't need to connect an account?
Correct. So if you use our CDN, it's automatic from live mode. You get the SSL, you get the free domain, all of that. If you want to use your own domain, there's a guide for that as well. But that's very simple as well. If you want to bring a CDN domain, you could use local optimization, bring a CDN. Like I said, there's a million possibilities that we try to adapt for, and everything is more or less possible. The big thing is we want to keep it as easy to use as right from the start, right from the get-go there. So yes, we do bring the CDN domain, and everything should be all set for you right from that.
Does it add a new file to the media library with a different file extension to accomplish next gen format? This is not for in real time.
Yes. So for local optimization mode, if you're doing WebP and local, if I'm understanding correctly, it will generate that for you, and then it will rely on whether it be your theme or whatnot to serve that. We create it for you, they have to serve it. We're actually creating an update because that has been actually a very common question lately, that will help serve that for you. We'll give you the option to serve that in local mode as well, and generate and serve that. So right now it generates it. Give it a week or so, and we'll be serving as well for you.
All right. All right. Bruce is speaking a whole other language to me, so I don't know what this says, but is EXIF data retained at the base level offer?
Yes. So that would be, if we go back here, EXIF data is the metadata for the photos. And that is just a simple toggle right here, preserve. It's not even under pro settings. Everyone gets the pro settings under the AppSumo deal, but it's just a simple toggle, and it will preserve the metadata for you in just one click right there.
Awesome. Can image compression be set up to automatic compression of images for all users of my WordPress website, independent of the user role?
Yes. So live mode automatically does it already. Local mode, or even in live mode, you could simply toggle optimize on upload. Anytime anyone uploads a photo to the media library, it will compress it based on your existing settings there. So that should be automated for you.
Cool. I optimize images before uploading it to my site. If the image has no image saving or very minimal, does it still use up credits? How does it know if the image was previously optimized?
So if it's less than the certain threshold, I think it's 5% savings, it won't charge you credits. And we also automatically adapt. We read the image to see if it's been compressed based on our algorithms, whether it be with us, whether it be elsewhere, and adapt accordingly. So we try to squeeze as much as we can out of it, but if we think that it will take too much quality or be distinctly different, then we will just say no further savings, and it won't charge you credits for that. It moves on to the next image and you're good to go. And that's for live and local there.
Awesome. All right, Sumolings, if you have any more questions, drop them in the Q&A box now. Last one is the CSS/Java, oh, no, more coming in, great. The CSS JavaScript compression using Broadly, I don't know,
yeah. It's using Broadly, BROTLI.
I like.
Which is next gen. So if you're testing on like Pingdom, they test for gzip, even though Broadly is more advanced. So that might not be, the flag might not go off for that, but you're in a better state than if it was to. So that's the big aspect of that as well. It's generally regarded as a much better compression algorithm for that.
Yeah. All right. Will Google or other bots/crawlers use up my credits when indexing my websites?
So you can, I would have to look into that actually. That's a good question. But I think as of right now, if they download the images, then it might, but we might be able to exclude that, or I would have to actually look into that on a site-by-site basis. Like I said, we try to cover every situation we can, but we appreciate the feedback on that. And if they do, I'm happy to reimburse credits for that as well too. But we'll look for a solution to that if it is currently an issue. But other than that, it should be based on if you're in local mode, you're fine. If you're in live mode, it should browser cache it. So if anything, it would use it like one visitor, but it wouldn't. I don't think it wouldn't drain your credits or anything like that.
Awesome. Does WP Compress optimize PDFs in the media manager?
So currently it does not. We have had feature requests to do so. So if you add it, make sure you add it to the feature request board. It's actually at go.wpcompress.com. You can see our roadmap, you can see feature requests, and be sure to vote on different people's feature requests as well. And we'll be happy to help with that and add anything to this board as we can as well for you.
All right. Compatibility. How do y'all do with visual builders like Divi?
Yeah, you should be fine with Divi. Again, it comes back to the compatibility aspects. If your builders are doing any optimization or lazy loading, WordPress introduced native lazy loading. Just make sure ours is off if you're using something else for it. And again, if you run into any conflicts, just throw us a support ticket. We'll be happy to sort it right away for you.
Cool. All right. Can I buy 2 tier 4 licenses and combine them for more credits?
So we're seeing what we can do because there have been people who want to have additional stacks right now. Currently, it's set up that the max is the tier 4. I think we'll talk further with the AppSumo team on this, but we do also have membership plans and our monthly subscriptions for that as well as the one-time credit packs you can purchase as well. But we want you to have enough credits for your site, so we're happy to help however we can with that. And everyone again gets 1 million credits for free just for being here today. So,
well, we appreciate that, James. Thank you so much for answering all of our questions and for walking us through the tool. I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up. Sumolings, if you have not already, you can go to appsumo.com/WP-compress to redeem your codes. It's starting at $39 for a lifetime deal. And of course, this is backed by AppSumo's 60-day guarantee. So go ahead, get set up, play around with it, and see how it works for you. Once you have done that, we would love to read your reviews on the deal page. People are currently raving about it on the deal page, so kudos to y'all. And if you have any more questions, how can they get in touch with your support team, James?
Sure. So a few options. We try to be extremely accessible. You go to help.wpcompress.com, little chat box right there. You also go to the feature request page. There should be one there as well. Or the easiest one is just on our website. You go to our site, click on the little chat box, and there you go. And for that, like I said, we've been under a lot of, we have the deal page as well, answering questions there too. But typically for more specific account questions, we love to use chat support. So you can enter your email and all that kind of stuff so that we can cater it to your specific account. General questions we're happy to answer wherever seeing you want to do it there. So yeah, so simply reach out via chat support. Like I said, we have a ton of people reaching in, even people just saying hi, thanks for everything. So we really appreciate that. But we'll try to get to them as soon as possible. I'm typing away. We got our support team. We're manning this. So again, we're happy to help however we can, and we aim to be as friendly, as helpful, and as acceptable as we can for everything. Feature requests, conflicts, sort it in a timely manner, all that stuff. We're human, but we're happy to help to the best of our ability. So we appreciate all you guys and girls out there and Sumolings, and we really appreciate. We appreciate the support. So thank you very much. And thanks for joining us today again. Thank you, Lindsay, as well.
It's been a pleasure having you. I hope y'all have a good one. Bye.
You too. Bye.